Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Neetu Ann Thomas, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Civil Engineering, SNIT Adur. So I am handling Principles of Management, which is being taught for K2 BTech students, and I have completed my 4th module in my previous lectures. From today onwards, we'll be starting the 5th module, which is staffing and related HRD functions. So let's start off by the definition of staffing. What do you mean by staffing? So staffing is nothing but it is a part of our management process. Staffing, or we call it as human resource management. It is a part of a management process which is concerned with the human constituents of an organization. So what are human constituents or human factors or human resource, which is knowledge, education, skill, and proficiency of employees. So, with these factors only, we can attain organizational goals or effective organizational goals. So, staffing is nothing but it is a process of filling positions in an organization with adequate and qualified personnel. According to McFarland, staffing is a function by which the managers build an organization through recruitment, selection, and development of individual as capable employees. So, staffing is nothing but defining or filling a position in an organizational structure through identifying the characteristics of the person and or training him properly after a selection of the person in the appropriate position, so that effective functioning or the effective management goal is attained. So that's all about staffing, definition of staffing. I hope the concept of staffing is clear for you. Now we'll go on to empowerment. So, what is empowerment? Empowerment is giving the power to make decisions without asking their superiors. So, the power to take decision is being given to the managers or the employees without asking their superiors for permission. That is empowerment. So most of the employees want to be involved in decision making, and which raises their self-esteem. So employees feel belongingness to the institution, or they feel stronger when they make decisions. So it makes them more productive in their roles. So companies have increasingly implemented empowerment because they benefit more to the company, because such employers will be more productive. So empowerment is nothing but delegation of some authority and responsibility to the employees and involving them in the decision making process. So that is empowerment. Hope it's clear. Next topic is delegation. So what is delegation? Delegation is nothing but dividing the workload and sharing of responsibilities. Dividing the workload and sharing of responsibility. So that's delegation. So by delegating authority, The manager never escapes from his responsibility. That is, delegation is dividing the workload. A manager is dividing his workload to the subordinates. So the subordinates will have to do a certain piece of work. So the essential element of delegation are assignment of responsibility or work to another and granting of authority. So these are the two factors which is involved in delegation. Hope it's clear. Delegation is nothing but dividing the workload and sharing of responsibilities. Why it is done? Maybe to decrease the workload of the managers or the employees, and for the effectiveness of the goal that has been achieved for the organization. So that's delegation. Now we'll move on to authority and responsibility. So what is authority and responsibility? So authority and responsibility is something which is to go hand in hand. Authority is nothing but the right to command the subordinates. Authority is right to command the subordinates. So right to command the subordinates in the sense the manager will have the full right to take decisions, and he'll make sure that it is done by the subordinates. That is, he'll have the full authority. So he has to make sure that the subordinates are doing the work correctly. So the manager is the person who has to give orders and has to take obedience. Like the manager should be very strict in making decisions and making the subordinates to do what is being commanded. So that is authority. While responsibility is the obligation of the manager. That is, the duties which are given by the manager should be correctly done by his subordinates. So the duty of the manager doubles here. That is, he has to take care of his subordinates, also he has to make sure that they are doing the work properly. So he's got an additional task for them. So it's a responsibility of the subordinates to complete the work or in the given time span, so that the managers will not have any problem with it, and the manager should make sure that the subordinates are doing the work properly. So that is authority and responsibility. Both should go hand in hand. So it is nothing but the right to command subordinates is authority, while obligation, that is obligation of the employees and the manager, is responsibility. So hope you are clear with these terms of empowerment, that is power to make decisions without asking the superior's permission. Delegation, that is dividing the duties and responsibilities with the subordinates so that work is done effectively or efficiently. And authority and responsibility. Authority is right to command the subordinate so that the work is being done properly, and responsibility is the obligation of the subordinates for the completion of work. That is, they have to do their work correctly in the correct given span or the time frame, so that the organizational goal is being attained. So that's all about these terms. Hope it is clear. That's all for the day. Thank you.